Take this. Find them.
Professor Weasley!
We don't know what magic caused this.
Come on, settle. I said settle. Abracadabra!
I'm Andrew, better known to you as the Aquarius Gamer. I first of all should apologise for not dropping a lot of content to you recently due to the fact that I've been helping with some DIY around the house, and hopefully there won't be much more of that, but obviously with Hogwarts Legacy just around the corner now, there will be more content definitely coming. So apologies for just the Hogwarts mystery only. I am still playing, just to let you know, the actual Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and I want to try and do something of an update soon with that for you as well. So today's video is going to be essentially about the actual customization around characters, information that has come out from some of the content creators' showcases and things that they've said, and some of the things that Warner Brothers support has indicated as well, to specifically mainly to wands. So first of all, I hope you enjoyed the new cinematic trailer. I'm not actually going to react to it because I'm sure you've probably seen plenty of those already since it's dropped. I will say that I did love the part where the owl actually flies through nearly headless Nick's neck and almost makes him go flying. I do laugh at or chuckle at that bit every time. And also I did find interesting the bit where Professor Weasley is in the defence against the dark arts classroom, and she says to the students that we don't know where this magic has come from. And also I just think, you know, the owl in itself is one hell of an owl to get through all of that. So if it was to have a game of its own, I would be there to play it. I mean, I don't exactly know how it would actually beat or win anything, but you know. Anyway, as I say, this is all part of my preparation for the game. So I've already done a part 1, and I will probably actually relabel that as part 1. But in this here, obviously, as you can see, you've got a number of things here where which they show you on the showcase, which is Expecto Go, or James I should say from Expecto Go was on, where they show you the different ways you can customize your characters. So just want to watch a little bit of what they say, and then I'm going to kind of give an indication of where I'm probably going to go, because some of the things that they give you here is quite fascinating. So let me just play the little bit quickly.
Be who you want to be and what you want to change.
Oh man.
And then once you're in that ballpark, all the other tabs let you dial that in. Be exactly who you want to be. It's our goal with this is to make sure that for anyone that fantasized about bringing themselves to the school for the very first time, that they feel like they have the options in order to represent who they are and essentially bring themselves to Hogwarts, or whatever character they want to bring to Hogwarts.
Oh my God, and options galore. Do you mind if I try to put myself in here right quick?
It's all about you today.
Okay, all right.
So what's important to, obviously, as you heard from that, is that you've got a lot of options. You can actually create yourself to go in the game, or you can create your own very character, which is something that I said in my previous video that I intended to do. I was going to create my own character because I wanted to link them up to my main character in Hogwarts Mystery. And obviously looking at these options here, it's something that you can see we can obviously have a wide range of things to do. Now for me, the important part here is going to be, I've discovered is well, I won't say that it's important, but for me it would have been a good thing to have, because I want to kind of insert myself a little bit into this character that I'm going to create. And when I was the actual age that this student was going to be, 15, I did actually have some stubble. And one of the things that actually came out of the game show, showcases from a lot of the content creators that were able to play for 2 hours or so recently, is that I think it was actually Retro Rakator mentioned that you can't actually have beards. So that to me is a little bit of an unfortunate miss there, because there are people like myself where I was growing stubble already at the age of 15, and it for me also, I think as well, the other part that's going to be essential is the actual voice itself, because when my voice broke, it broke quite deeply. But luckily for us in this, we have the option to actually adjust the voice actual deepness to high or low, whereas obviously you don't get the option with the beards. So obviously, as I say, here we've got the options to choose our character. You also have the option to change the tone of skin and things like that to whatever you want. And also, as I say, one of the things I would like to do is obviously the hair. Now well, actually that is the face shape, so that will be something else that's important. Now one thing I would say is I'm not sure whether I'm going to actually wear glasses in this, because when I was that age I was not wearing glasses. But then I also want to look at it from the point of view, is it going to matter, as I'm going to be partially putting myself into the character that I'm going to create. So there are 3 options there. I believe there's a circular option, kind of a landscape type option of glasses, which is what I currently wear, and there's also like the half moon glasses, sorry, half moon glasses, sorry about that, which you obviously see Professor Dumbledore and I believe Professor McGonagall does as well. But obviously when I start that will be something I'll look at. So here's obviously your choices of hair. Now I haven't quite decided how this is going to work out yet, because I'll have to go through the different hairstyles I want. But in particular, I do kind of might look at having long hair. So what I mean is in like the sense of, when you see some of the pictures that have been posted out there of Merlin from the game, he obviously has long hair. I might kind of go for that. But as I say, it's all going to kind of depend. So I will show you in just a minute what I mean by that. So that will be another option there. Obviously the eye colour will not be a problem, because I can set that. As for hair colour, I'm not quite sure yet whether or not I will actually do any hair colour other than maybe my natural hair colour. I am kind of liking the idea of possibly grey, if they have the option to do that. But at the same time, I don't really kind of want my character to look like they're old as well. Also, you've got the option to put some actual marks on them. Now, I am thinking of doing that, and I'm not quite sure in what context I would use that scar, but I think I would like to do it. And also I see here that you've got the options of freckles and moles and complexion, so that was obviously what was part of what I was talking about earlier on. Also, you've got the option there, as you can see, of eyebrows. So again, it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to go through it, because when I was younger my eyebrows were quite thick. Now they're kind of thinning out a little bit. So that is where I am kind of on my thoughts with the actual customization of the character, and I'm going to show you now exactly what I'm hoping to create. And what I should probably state here at this point in time is that once you have done all this and you started the game, as far as I'm aware, you cannot re-customize the actual character whatsoever throughout the actual game. The only thing that, as far as I'm aware, you can customize is the actual clothes that you get. Right, so one of the other things I also wanted to find out about, which was thankfully answered, was the customization of our wand. And thanks to Gaming Intel here and the gentleman Daniel Medina, who has put it into suitable words for me to be able to read from, it looks like we may be able to do the customization as well as the actual have the ceremony. So he says here, Hogwarts Legacy recently confirmed an in-game wand ceremony, but can players customize their wands after the fact? One of the most prominent pieces of Hogwarts lore is that the wand chooses its user. No two wands are the same. Each chooses the owner it feels suits its qualities best. So it would be important for me to actually point out here that I did some research, and depending on what year we start in Hogwarts, whether it's 1890 or 1892, well, it's kind of looking more towards the 1892 actual year, then it would have either been Garrick Ollivander's grandfather or Garrick Ollivander's father. So if it was Garrick Ollivander's father, one of the things that is mentioned after in the research that I did, that in 1890 it was more common for witches and wizards to actually give something of that was of personal value to them, so something that was they inherited or something like that, which was then used as the actual core of the wands that he would make. So the actual wand itself was not in fact choosing the wizard, they were then choosing it. The way it changed was actually when Garrick Ollivander, after watching his father doing some of this, decided that he was going to change it so that the actual wand chose the actual witch or wizard. So it's important to note that here, because that is how they can get around the whole customization thing. So yes, there's going to be the wand ceremony, but technically the wand isn't really choosing you, because it wasn't, according to what I discovered on Harry Potter wiki fandom, the actual case. So if you want to actually find that out or look that up, then you can just go to Garrick Ollivander on there and then just look tab onto his father's name, where obviously it's all explained, and I believe it's also explained in Garrick Ollivander's actual bio as well. So just how in depth the wand mechanic. Here is everything we know about the wand ceremony and the customization coming to Hogwarts Legacy. So back to the question of will there be a wand ceremony in Hogwarts Legacy? The answer to that was obviously yes, because he's already said that. It will include the wand ceremony where the wand will choose the player. It is unclear when this ceremony will occur during the actual game, but we can expect it to be somewhere near the introduction and at Ollivander's. Well, that is going to be a given without any doubt, because there was an Ollivander's in both, obviously, Diagon Alley, and there's one in Hogsmeade as well. There has been a lot of actual question over as to when we're going to get the wand, actually whether we're going to get it from Diagon Alley or in Hogsmeade. So I'm kind of hoping it will be in Diagon Alley, because then that is kind of more of the experience. So players can get sorted into their house and earn their wands by linking their Harry Potter fan club accounts with Hogwarts Legacy. If the wand you obtain isn't to your liking, you'll have the opportunity to change it when the wand ceremony occurs in Hogwarts Legacy. Now, well, actually, let me just read this. So this was the person that reached out is Mike. Sorry, I can't read that properly. I've got the wrong glasses on. But anyway, the answer to this question from Warner Brother Games support was, "Hey Mike, thanks for reaching out about wands customization. Players will be able to change their choice of wands during the wand ceremony later in game if you don't like your choice of wand from the Harry Potter fan club quiz. If you have any other questions, please let us know." So that doesn't really kind of answer the question. I would like to think that you could customize the one that you had rather than actually well, yeah, I think it would be nice if that you could have customized it. So I'm not sure whether that is actually answering the question or not. As such, it's not so much the choice of wand; it's more of what it actually looks like. So maybe that's something that should perhaps have been asked. But anyway, as you can see here, this is an elderly. This is obviously Ollivander's. So my guess is here is going to be the grandfather of Garrick Ollivander. So we're not looking like that we're going to get much in the way of customization. So on the other note as well, this is what I want my character to actually kind of look like overall. So as you can see, I've actually got a different Wizarding World profile to the actual one that I did to show you basically how it was done. So in that I got Gryffindor, and I will obviously be playing as the Gryffindor, as you can play with any different characters you want. So essentially, if you want to, thanks to the confirmation of 5 slots, you can play a character from each house essentially, as well as let obviously members of your family play as well. And also I think the only drawback to that is, I think, and because it wasn't clear, is if they can do it via, the actual player can do it via their own profile, or whether they'd have to do it through your profile with the game. So my sister is hoping to do some live streams of her own of the actual Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know whether she'll do it via my actual YouTube or whether she'll do it via hers, but I have said that she can do it via mine if she wants to, and I will set up a separate playlist for her. So then you'll get the option of seeing both a male and female version of the game and that. So anyway, this is, as I say, as you can see here, what I want my character to kind of look like. Whether or not I will get the hair that I will like lengthwise is another story. Obviously the beard's there because you can add it here in this, but unfortunately you can't, as I said before, in the game. So yes, as I just said, this is a new profile. So I actually did this after the other one. So this is the character that I'm going to have. It's called Amelia Prince, as I stated in the previous video for prepping for Hogwarts Legacy. Obviously I got into Ravenclaw as I would expected. The fact that I got into Gryffindor when I was actually doing it that time was probably because I was, how I was feeling that particular day was different. Obviously the Patronus will not be going over to the game as far as we're aware, although how I actually got the dragon is beyond me. I discovered that it's one of the rarest Patronuses to get, so I'm quite happy with that. But if it is connected to the actual, or I should say if we are a descendant of Merlin, then it's kind of appropriate. And then there's the wands, and this is what the issue for me was in terms of the wand customization was going to be, and that is whether or not it will look like this. My guess is probably it won't, but as you can see, the one I got was elder wood with a phoenix core, 14.5 inches and half flexibility. So this is meant to be one of the hardest woods to master. Well, I say, what's it? It says here trickier to master, but it's also considered to be deeply unlucky. Now, I know the reasons that they're given here is because, or it's been given in here, is because Ollivander thinks that anybody else using the woods is just too lazy to use it. After some research, and that I did discover that the elder wood should be requested from the actual elder mother. So when I say elder mother, essentially anybody that required wood from the elder tree, there is kind of like the Morgan Le Fay is. So Le Fay basically means a fairy, basically, and they are essentially the keepers of the trees. But this particular one is you've got what is referred to as the elder mother. Now the elder mother is essentially the protector of trees and nature across throughout the woodlands and things like that. Today we know her better as Mother Nature, or if you are from Greece, she would also be known as Gaia. I actually don't know. It's not Greece. Well, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. If it is Greece, then drop a comment in the actual comment box because I believe it was. I might have got mixed up with the name, but anyway. So, and the other thing, of course, is the Phoenix Core is one apparently that is difficult to master with magic. But obviously, if they're going to do it so that the wand chooses you, then all the better. It actually did put my mind at ease because I didn't feel comfortable with the idea of having a wand that might not actually work at all for me in the game, although I probably was well and truly overthinking that way too much. So just one other thing to actually mention. So this here is what I meant by the beards with Merlin, and this here, so just this is here just confirming that the Hogwarts Legacy Digital Deluxe Edition will be auto downloaded on the 5th of February on the PlayStation 5. I understand already that the Xbox Series S has already started downloading, auto downloading for some. I can't honestly give an actual response to you in terms of the PC though, so because I've not seen anything on Twitter to say that it's been downloadable. Right, so one of the things I got out of the trailer was kind of a sort of thing is who is obviously our ancestor, or I should be more specific in saying our female ancestor. There is, of course, this theory that Merlin is our ancestor, but my question is, who is it that he got jiggy with in order to for us to actually be a descendant? So my two theories on that is, one, it could possibly be Morgan Le Fay herself, or Morgana. In the actual Muggle lore, Morgana, before the actual medieval, well, I should say around the time of the Tudors, time in Britain or England, was actually one of the lovers of Merlin, as well as a student of his. Obviously, it's not, because we don't know much about it from the actual Wizarding World point of view. We don't know exactly whether she did start out that way, but given the fact that they do include the court of King Arthur, I probably suspect it's the case. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe at a later date that Morgana became an enemy of Merlin's. You know, maybe she felt scolded by the fact that he didn't want anything to do with her, because he then started a relationship with another student called Nimue. Now, you'll also find that she is referred to as Vivian in Muggle lore, but Nimue is commonly used. So, for those of you who may have seen the Merlin dramatisation on BBC, you'll know that here Katie McGrath, who plays Morgana so wonderfully, and then you have Nimue here, who was actually played by the wonderful Michelle Ryan. Now, the reason I have her is because this was kind of played in a different aspect on the BBC drama, because Nimue, why she did eventually turn out to be in this, she's actually his direct enemy, whereas in the actual Muggle lore, she was his lover as well as student, and eventually she was the one who entombed him in a cave at some point, and she then eventually went on to become the Lady of the Lake. Obviously, everything kind of changed a bit when it came to around about the 1500s, and both France and England were changing the law around Merlin himself. More so for the Tudors, because they wanted to justify their actual line of succession to the throne of England via Merlin, and King Arthur, because Merlin actually is essentially from Welsh actual, I will say just say mythology. So it is believed that it's somebody that did exist, but under a different name. But anyway, this is what I would like to see, is we also get kind of an answer as to who our female ancestor is as well. I would probably say it's more likely, if they chose to do it, be Nimue, but at the same time, you know, there is a chance that we could get a different side of the life of Morgana, and maybe it's Morgana. Or it could be that they just introduce somebody else completely different, because according to the Muggle lore, there was a number of other lovers that Merlin had as well. So there's a good chance that a lot of people could actually descend from him anyway. But for now, I think that is kind of where I'm at in terms of my preparation, as I will say. Obviously the game will be out auto downloading on the 5th. I believe it will download even if you can't play it until the 10th. So if you're playing the base edition, you'll need to check on that, because as I just said, it only shows it for the deluxe edition only on my one. So yeah, so for me, I'm going to wrap this up now because I'm babbling on too much, just like a typical Ravenclaw would. My plans obviously will continue over the next few days as to where I'm going with this, how I'm going to do my field guide, and obviously I think my customization for my character will only happen once I start doing the live streams of it on the 7th of February when it's downloaded and it's playable. So I hope in a way you found this informative but not too boring. If you got this far, congratulations. I would give you a medal if I could, but unfortunately I can't. But I can sort of posthumously, maybe magic a Merlin's award to you for that. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I sincerely hope you enjoyed what you saw. Just drop us a comment as to what you think your plans are, if you're going to do anything exciting with your terms of customization with your character, or whether you think that my two theories about Nimue or Morgana being our female ancestor, as to what you think about that, whether you think it could be possibility or not possibility or something like that. But anyway, hit the like button and the subscribe button as well. Again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a very good evening. I hope you enjoy what's left of your weekend, for those of you that are minus hours behind the UK. And I hope everybody's having a happy Monday for those who are plus hours in front of the UK. So until just quickly, I'm hoping to actually do a live stream this evening of Disney's Dreamlight Valley, because I need to finish off the actual side or the quests for Woody, Buzz Lightyear, and obviously Stitch. So hopefully, if this is up before I do that live stream, you will join me. Until then, thank you very much. Goodbye. Happy gaming, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.